All right, everybody. Thanks for watching another one of these finalist interviews. The Small Business of the Year Awards is just around the corner, and Van Aert Electric is one of the finalists in the business to consumer category. So I'm joined this afternoon by Michael and Bob Van Aert, and we're going to talk a little bit about your company and the process of applying for this award. And maybe some of the people that deserve some recognition. So, Bob, why don't you start out? Tell us a little bit about Van Aert Electric and what you do here.
Okay, I guess I want to start a little bit about the history of Van Aert. I found out there was going to be a Van Aert Electric when I was just turning 12 years old. It was the summer of '63. We were on a father-son fishing trip up to Atikokan, Canada, and our neighbor and ourselves and my friend was in the car, and he said, I'm starting my own electrical contracting business next summer. So in 1964, Van Aert Electric, May 20th to be exact, it came to being. We had 9 kids in the family at the time, 10th one later, so it took a lot of guts, and it took quite a bit of hard work, but he turned it into a successful contracting company. In 1970, an opportunity came up in Wausau to buy electrical contracting, was the name of the company. A guy named Wally Munt owned it. And it was a good fit for us and for them. We ended up buying them out, keeping their foremen, journeymen, and apprentices working, and got some clients in the Wausau area. In '78, we started what we called our controls division. We offered process control and instrumentation and engineering along with that. A guy named Al Brace came to us with that expertise. Don't want to get too lengthy in a chronological order, but in the early 90s, or excuse me, in the 80s, we started doing work in the Fox River Valley. And in the 90s, we built offices, built another one and expanded that one. At about the same time, we started doing work in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and we built an office up there in about '93. We outgrew our place on Part East Street, and so in '79 we built this building, and then we added on to it in '95. So we doubled the size of it here. What does Van Aert do? I guess we're a little different than a lot of electrical contractors. We're more full service probably than anybody in the area and maybe even the state. We do anything from hospitals, office buildings, power plants, pulp and paper mills, low voltage, what we call medium voltage is like 1,000 volts and up. Let's see. Another thing we do projects that a lot of people are afraid to perform. They're difficult projects. They take a lot of planning, a lot of management, a lot of manpower, and we're not afraid to do those. Another thing a little different about Van Aert, we're a family-owned company. However, we do have other shareholders. Some of our key people have become shareholders in our company, so we have about 14 shareholders today. When we've had some large projects going, we've peaked at over 1,000 employees at one time, and that was quite a jump. So I'll turn it over to Michael, see if he's got anything to add. I mean, I've kind of been here since day one. I know all the ancient history.
Yeah, like my dad said, Grandpa started the company in '64. My dad's been involved with it from the beginning, and I'm third generation. And so as a company, we're really going into the third generation of people that are managing and really leading this company. So it's, like Bob said, it's a family company, but it's also key members of our company are not family, but they're shareholders.
And they're treated like family.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Bob, you mentioned something that I thought was kind of piqued my interest a little bit. You said that you've specialized in maybe doing some of the jobs that other places won't do. Any of all the years and all the jobs, is there one job that sticks out that was maybe really stretched you guys in terms of, boy, can we do this? And you did it, or maybe something that you're really most proud of.
Well, I guess one of them rather recently was a new paper machine in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Our total manpower peaked at what, over 600 employees?
Over 600, closer to 700.
On one project, and that about doubled the size of our organization at that particular moment. It took a lot of people from a lot of our different divisions over there to get this thing managed and get it done in a timely fashion and within budget. So.
And that put stress on not only the field people, but payroll and billing and administration, and so the whole company was really behind getting that job done in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, we did 6 months, we did a year and a half's worth of work in 6 months, pretty much. That was one of them. There's several of them. That was probably the biggest and worst.
And so when you say that your organization had to bring 600 people or more to a project like that, were these all employees? Were they? Do you sort of hire sort of contractors to get you through big projects like that, or how does that work?
Well, we did it in several different ways. We hired from the local union hall in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where they couldn't supply enough people. We hired subcontractors, electrical subcontractors that were in the area. We also hired electrical subcontractors from this area to help man that job. And most of the on-site management came from Vanert employees, full-time Vanert employees, but the field people pretty much came from the outside.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, when what I wanted to sort of clarify, because people that are watching this, the Small Business of the Year awards, that sounds like a big business, right? But these are not your full-time, all-the-time employees. These are people that you sort of assemble for a project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we've always sent someone from our full-time team to any project that's out of the area.
And we'll send engineers, project managers, people that do our purchasing, people that do our scheduling. We send a lot of project management to those projects.
Sure. The application process. So this is the first time that you've applied for this award, right?
Yep.
I guess just so everybody understands, we ask our members who are going to participate in this or who've been nominated to fill out an application, and the application really gives them kind of an opportunity to go back, look at where they started, look at all the different steps they've had to take to get to where they are now. When you went through that process, what stuck out to you? Any sort of detail? And I'm going to hand you my mic, so you can talk about that. That's all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, when we've looked at just in the framework of the last several years, what we've learned about our business was, well, one for me and everybody else, but Bob has not been here since the very, very beginning. So just the history of how we grew, and in certain stages we grew a lot within a 5-year period, and so I see us going through that right now again. Of we've acquired a company up in Michigan, a company in Fond du Lac, and have grown in strides. So it happened in the early 90s, and it's happening again in the 2020s. We've really seen notice the speed at which information changes. You think about 1964 and the 70s, and how the speed of information travels today, and just the speed of jobs. Like Bob said, a new paper machine that we've done in the early 90s probably took 18 months to 2 years, and now a new one that we did in 2021 took 6 to 8 months. So, seeing that happen was a big difference. The amount of safety that we have in the business over the years has really jumped up. We have 4 full-time safety professionals that are, 2 are here, live here, 2 are in other locations. And so just specializing roles was another thing that we saw. Coming up through the business, one person wore a lot of hats, and now we're slowly getting to where instead of 10 hats, we might only have 4.
Sure,
So.
sure, yeah, absolutely. Well, the last thing I'll ask you guys is, obviously you got a long history. A lot of people have been critical to the success of the business. Anybody that you want to specifically recognize?
We average about 650. We have divisions in Wausau, Eau Claire, Madison, Milwaukee area, and Kekaunan, and we have a sister company we bought up in UP called B&B Electric.
And there's a lot of people that are very critical to where we are today. A lot to list, so I didn't want to say some and not miss anybody, but Mel Banner, the founder, and definitely my grandpa would be definitely a person to
Right?
have at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to thank you guys. Thanks for your membership in the chamber, your support in what we do, and we're excited to have you guys as a finalist and your business as a finalist this year. Just so everybody out there is reminded, the Chamber's Business Month begins next month. So April is Business Month for the Chamber. It starts off with a Civics Bee event on Tuesday the 2nd in the afternoon. That's a competition for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders at UWSP at Wausau. First time we've hosted that, great prizes for them. Really going to be a good opportunity to showcase some really remarkable young people here in our community and their commitment to sort of understanding more about civics, which is something we want to really emphasize. And then the week after that, on the 9th, Tuesday the 9th, is when we announce the recipient of this year's awards. We have 8 finalists in 2 categories, and those recipients will be named at a program to be held that afternoon in Rib Mountain at the Hilton Garden Inn. Eric Morotek and Melissa Langben from Channel 9 will be the hosts for that event, or the MCs, and it's always a good one. If you haven't gotten your tickets for that, we encourage you to go out, buy some, get a table. It's a great opportunity to celebrate some really great businesses and organizations in our community. Then, the week after that, on the Thursday the 18th, is the Business Expo. If you haven't been to the Business Expo, big deal. It's a fun day, open to the public from noon to 5. It's exhibitor to exhibitor time from 9 to noon on that day. And then we wrap things up that evening with the Fun at Expo event, where lots of food and drink from a bunch of different members across the street at Stony Creek Inn out in Rothschild. So hope to see you at all those things. We've got an HR program that wraps up that month. You can find out about all these programs on wausauchamber.com. So again, Bob, Michael, thank you. Appreciate you being part of this interview, and we'll see everybody in a couple of weeks at the awards program.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, Steve.